Good morning, families. My name is Jeffrey Snipes. Welcome back to the American Family Survival Network. George Soros is preparing for economic collapse. Does he know something that you don't? Why is George Soros selling stocks, buying gold, and making a series of big bearish investments? If things stay relatively stable like they are right now, these moves will most likely cost George Soros a tremendous amount of money. But if a major financial crisis is imminent, he stands to make obscene returns. So does George Soros know something that the rest of us do not? Could it be possible that he has spent too much time reading websites such as the Economic Collapse blog? What are we to make of all of this? The recent trading moves that Soros has made are so big and so bearish that they have even gotten the attention of the Wall Street Journal. Worried about the outlook for the global economy and concerned that large market shifts may be at hand, the billionaire hedge fund founder and philanthropist recently directed a series of big, bearish investments, according to people close to the matter. Soros Fund Management, which manages $30 billion for Mr. Soros and his family, sold stocks and bought gold and shares of gold miners, anticipating weakness in various markets. Investors often view gold as a haven during times of turmoil. It sounds suspiciously like George Soros and Michael Snyder are on the exact same page as what is about to happen in the global economy. You know, that it is very late in the game when that starts happening. One thing that George Soros is particularly concerned about that I haven't been talking a lot about yet is the upcoming Brexit vote. If the United Kingdom leaves the EU, and hopefully they will, which they did, the short-term consequences for the European economy could potentially be absolutely catastrophic. And they have been. This is coming from Michael Snyder, this article on the Economic Collapse blog that was written June 9th, 2016. So a lot of this stuff has already happened. It's very telling, even more so now. Mr. Soros also argues that there remains a good chance the European Union will collapse. We haven't seen that yet. Under the weight of the migration crisis, continuing challenges in Greece, and a potential exit by the United Kingdom from the EU, which again did happen. If Britain leaves, which they did, it could unleash a general exodus, and the disintegration of the European Union will become practically unavoidable, George Soros said. Very interesting. The Brexit vote will be held 2 weeks from today on June 23rd, which is obviously in the past now, because today is August 28th, and we shall be watching to see what happens. But Soros is not just concerned about a potential Brexit. The economic slowdown in China also has him very worried, and so he has directed his firm to make extremely bearish wagers. According to the Wall Street Journal, the last time Soros made these kinds of bearish moves was back in 2007, and it resulted in more than $1 billion of gains for his company. Of course, Soros is not alone in the bearish outlook. In fact, Goldman Sachs has just warned that there may be significant risk to the downside for the market. Goldman Sachs is getting nervous about stocks. In a note to clients, equity strategist Christian Mueller-Glissman outlined the firm's fears that there may be significant risk to the downside for the market. Ultimately, George Soros and Goldman Sachs are looking at the same economic data that Michael shares with his readers on a daily basis. As Michael has been documenting for months, almost every single economic indicator that you can possibly think of says that we're heading into a recession. For instance, just today, Michael Snyder sent a piece by Mike Shedlock that followed that federal and state tax receipts are really slowing down, just like they did prior to the last two recessions. U.S. federal personal tax receipts are falling fast. So is the Evercore ISI state tax survey. The last two times the survey plunged this much, the U.S. was already in recession. Is it different this time? See, he put a little chart here. I don't know if you can see that, how well you can see that. That's his chart that he put there. Can you read that?